Reference to my own memories, describe the movement of gay marriage in my culture.
To the National Day of Action for Same-Sex Marriage. Equal rights before the law.
Pay attention to who we are.
Yes, campaign has done it.
Zit volledig achter hun besluit om als eerste homopaar elkaar het ja-woord te geven.
Images may not mark the end. Months of demonstration.
Australia remains the only Western country to ban same-sex marriage.
I believe the gay couples deserve the same legal rights as every other couple in this country.
It was 2 years ago from this week, and it was the best day I think I've ever been a part of. And there was just proposals everywhere. Everyone was getting down on one knee. I think it was just such a remarkable day in history for Australia.
As of today, it is still not possible for a gay couple to marry for the church in Belgium, which is still a Catholic country. And of course, the homosexuality for the church is a sin and is frowned upon. When I moved to Sweden, I went there on an exchange year, and I stayed in a host family where my host father was a priest.
I realized that it was special that the Netherlands were the first ones to legalize it, was when I visited the United States.
I do quite vividly remember is the gay couple, one with the moustache. I don't know why I remember that so strongly, but they're holding up their hands and they're very proudly showing their wedding rings.
Embrace homosexuality in all its assets. Not only can gay people marry in front of the church, but there are also some gay priests. It was really a revelation.
I was 5 in 2001, so I don't remember that. But what I do think about, it being not an active memory, it's very interesting because you grew up not knowing if it was a big deal or an event or anything. You grew up and, people being able to marry whomever they want. It's just the status quo, so it's very normal. It's only when you do get older that you realize that it's actually quite different for a lot of countries.
That it was not normal. It was normal to me, but it was not normal for everyone in the world and every country.
Fascinating how Dutch people promote themselves as tolerant, but when one looks at polls about violence towards gay people, it did strongly increase the past years.
A Facebook friend of mine changed his status to married, and he actually married another man, and somehow I can still remember that.
The marriage that my parents had and the marriage that I think a lot of people still consider as the only valid kind of marriage is still inaccessible for gay people.
And finally, it was time for us to grow up as a nation and catch up to the rest of the world.
97% of the people say to be okay with gay marriage, but they should not express it too much. So the whole idea of a man marrying another man or a woman marrying another woman is alright for quite a lot of people, but please do everything behind closed doors.
And Bruno Boileau, the first same-sex couple to marry there.
Out at one point a couple of years ago that the Netherlands was actually the first country to legalize it. I did not know that before, and so I got really curious and I went onto YouTube and I looked up some clips. So I remember seeing, I think it was the first ceremony in Amsterdam.
I'm very happy that here in the Netherlands we do accept gay and bisexual people, at least insofar that they can have a marriage as well.
Stood up against the big people, stood up against the conservatives and the small government, and they said, stuff you, this is our life, I'm going to love the person I want to love, I want to marry the person I want to marry, and you just watch us do that. It was a day that I will remember for the rest of my life.